Would you like to know the secrets to succeed on summer surveillance? If you said yes, then this video is for you. Welcome to the PI Guide, tips, tricks, and advice for professional private investigators just like you. My name is John Morris. I am a licensed professional private investigator in Colorado. Now, regardless of why or how much surveillance you do in the summer, the weather and the time of the year can provide many challenges, to be sure. These challenges, these obstacles can seem a bit daunting and overwhelming at times, and you need to know the secrets to ensure success and safety during summer surveillance. Okay, let's dive into the secrets to succeed on summer surveillance. Warm weather entices many people to be outside, and that warm weather moves the surveillance world into full swing, folks. Workers' comp and other injury-related surveillance really ramps up in the summertime. It is just a normal part of the cycle. Insurance companies know that their claimants will be out enjoying as much fun in the sun as possible, and they know that many people are very active around summer holidays. That is our first big challenge to be successful during summer surveillance. Working holidays is a known hazard for the surveillance investigator. Yep, we miss a lot of those great Monday holidays like Memorial Day, Labor Day, as well. We miss Independence Day and many other days that everybody else is out enjoying time with their family with, because our clients want us to go out and work these holidays to get the goods on those that may be defrauding the system. I know it's difficult, folks, to get up early in the morning and leave your family to go conduct surveillance when you know that they're heading out to the park. They're going to go to the beach or wherever to be with friends and family when you have to conduct surveillance on these days. It is very vitally important that you prepare your mind and your body to stay focused on the task at hand. It is way too easy to ask your spouse to send photos to you on everything that you're missing. It's way too easy to ask a friend to send some video clips while out on the boat fishing with your buddies. It's way too easy to ask family to Skype or Zoom you in so you don't miss out on all of the fun. These types of distractions during your summer surveillance will almost assuredly affect your focus and your quality of work. It just takes a few seconds of taking your eyes off the prize and you can miss the money shot, lose the client, or not see what happened altogether. As I often say, folks, keep your eyes on the prize at all times. Stay focused. Stare at that front door. Watch that vehicle. Wait for your subject to leave the house, and keep your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and all other electronics stowed away where they can't be a distraction to you. I know it's hard, but you have a job to do, so let's get it done the right way. Now, what about the long dog days of summer? How do these long days of sunlight affect your surveillance? These long days can have a lot of effect on your surveillance, to be sure. In the winter months, in most places, you have sunlight from maybe 7 or so in the morning until maybe 4 or 5 in the afternoon. But in the summer, around here, the sun comes up between 5:30 and 6 in the morning, and it doesn't go down until around 9 o'clock at night. That adds on a lot of other potential active hours for you to try to cover with limited resources. You need to really do a lot of research on your subject any time of the year, and in the summer it's extra important. Are they posting interests and events on Facebook? Do you see past history of them going places on these special holidays and other days in the summer? People are creatures of habit, folks. If you see their social media posts show that they went to a certain lake every 4th of July for the past few years, they may very well be going this year too to that very same lake. If they have summer birthdays, whether it's their birthday or somebody else's that they've celebrated a lot in the past, they may be celebrating those birthdays or those special times, and that may be times that you need to focus on this year. Make note of the dates and the times of the days that they were active. You don't want to go out at 6 a.m. on the 4th of July if it looks like they went out to do fireworks at a buddy's farm in the evening last year. You will have exhausted your 8-hour day well before they ever head out to enjoy their day. The same would apply if they're always posting pictures on the 4th of July for the local parade. Most parades start around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. If you show up at 8 o'clock in the morning, they may well be on their way or already at the parade route, so they get a good seat. Plan accordingly to what intel you can obtain. And if your client wants surveillance on the 4th of July or any specific day, don't be afraid to ask the client why. They may have intel that you're not privy to, and they just never thought to pass it on. Maybe the policyholder got wind from other employees that the subject is planning on being on the lake that day. Perhaps the client found out the subject was on a softball league and there was a big weekend tournament. I've had cases exactly like those two scenarios, and had I not inquired with my client as to what details that they had about those cases could have been total flops for me. If you just have routine surveillances in the summer, you might also consider earlier start times. Now, this needs to be done with caution and for due reason. Again, research your subject. Find out what they do. See if you can determine if they are early birds or late risers. If they are early birds or do a lot of gardening, go for morning walks, things like that, they may be active even earlier in the morning during the summertime. Starting early also helps you stay hidden while setting up for surveillance in the morning. Many times that sun comes up around 5:30 or 6 o'clock, so doing a quick drive-through of the neighborhood at that time draws attention to yourself, and setting up in your stationary position in the dark is a lot easier than in the daylight. My preference for summer surveillance morning setups is to be out about 5 o'clock in the morning or sooner. I have even gone out at 5 knowing that my client requested a 6 a.m. start time. I know if I get the goods on the subject early, my client will have no problem paying me for that time. And if nothing happens, well, I'm set up, I'm secure, and I'm ready to go, and I just bill my client for the scheduled start time. Setting up early also helps you beat the heat during those hot summer days. You can start at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or 8 a.m., and you can get off at 1, 2, 3, or 4 p.m., respectively. The later the start time, the longer you are sitting in your car during the hottest parts of the day. While that should not be the only determining factor as to when you start your case in the summer, it might play a role in you making that decision. Heat plays a huge role in summer surveillance too, not just how hot it gets in your car. That is something that we're going to discuss a great deal here in a bit. But how does the heat affect your subject? I have found on the hottest days of summer, much like the snowiest and the coldest days of winter, many times subjects will just hunker down and stay safe and comfy inside their home. I will often confer with the weather forecast and see if there is a break in the heat that might make more sense to go out on that summer day. Not necessarily a rainy day, but a slightly cooler day with maybe some clouds that might entice my subject to do some yard work, go to the park, go shopping, things like that. Now let's discuss the heat and how it affects you. Summer surveillance temperatures can be really crazy, especially depending on where you're located. Here in Colorado, it can be 57 at 6 a.m. and it can get up to 95 or higher in the afternoon, so you have to deal with a lot of temperature fluctuations in the summer. As well, you could start surveillance up in a mountain community where it is much cooler in the morning and follow your subject down into hotter temperatures or vice versa. So you must be prepared for any and all possible weather situations. I prefer to have lots of layers on if it's colder, and then I can take pieces off as it's getting hotter during the day. Now, I'll take those clothes off to a limit, folks. I don't suggest taking off all your clothes during surveillance, but I might start with a t-shirt and a light button-up and jeans over shorts. But if it's just plain hot, I start in the shorts and a t-shirt, and I have jeans and a button-up handy and some shoes to change up my appearance if needed. Conducting surveillance in the summer barefoot can really help you keep your cool too, folks. I know it sounds a little weird to some people. I hate being barefoot, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and if it means staying cool, the shoes come off for me. I try to have something like flip-flops or sandals and a pair of regular shoes and socks too. Make sure you have plenty of hot summer day stuff in your surveillance vehicle as well. I try to keep a blanket in case I go to the beach. A small cooler, even if it's empty, it makes a good guise. Some sunscreen is a necessity, and a hat or two along with sunglasses for those hot summer days. Now, keeping your cool in your car is a huge challenge, to be sure. I keep plenty of water and some washcloths handy. It is amazing how quickly you can cool yourself down with just a couple of damp cloths and anything you can use to fan yourself. I have a 12-volt fan, too, to keep air moving inside my car and help out with this. Now, you don't want devices like a fan plugged into your car and draining your car's battery. I use a 12-volt battery jumper box that has a 12-volt power, lighter style plug on it, a couple of USB ports, and a built-in DC to AC converter to power everything. These units last a full day if you get a good one and if you use your power sparingly. I also have what is called a Swampy. The Swampy is a personal space cooler, much like a swamp cooler, that has water inside it, and it blows the cool air directly on my upper body. While it's not air conditioning, it is a real lifesaver on the really hot days. This type of device is great in drier climates, but not so good in more humid areas. The Swampy also needs ventilation to work properly, so you need to be able to keep a rear window open 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, or it will become a sauna inside your car really quick. Now, I use that 12-volt fan. Mine has an oscillating feature to move air around the entire car. It also has a clamp, so I can mount it just about anywhere in my car. Dressing properly for these hot days of summer surveillance and finding cool places to park is key. Now, you can't always find the coolest places to park, but it's worth looking for. I always try to do a recon run prior to going out on any surveillance. During this, you can find some very valuable information, to be sure. In the summer, I will try to do these recon drive-bys in the middle of the afternoon so I can see the sun position in relation to the neighborhood and try to identify potential cooler, shady places to park. Those shady spots early in the morning are great, but they may become full sun areas later in the day. I would rather be in full sun early in the day and shader later in the day if I have a choice. Now, I made another video last summer about keeping your cool during summer surveillance, and I'm going to leave a link right up here for that and down below. That video has a lot of other tips and tricks to help you stay cool and safe this summer. Hey, here are 2 more videos that I made just for you. Thank you so much for supporting the PI Guy channel, and remember folks, stay safe out there.